My name is Jim Press. I'm the president and vice chairman, along with Tom Lasorda, for Chrysler LLC.
Who do you think is doing the worst?
I don't think there's a bailout for the big three. I don't think that's an issue. This loan guarantee, if that's what you're referring to, is predicated on the energy bill that was passed last year. And it's the appropriation of the $25 billion that was earmarked in that energy bill for the tooling transition for any manufacturer, not just the big three. And also it includes the vendors, the supplying community, who are retooling for high technology, new powertrain componentry that will achieve an improvement in gas mileage and the product they're contributing to of more than 125%. It really is the viability of the U.S. manufacturers and the industry here. This loan guarantee you're talking about is part of that because it's based on retooling for investments so we can develop the battery technology that we need for the future here. There's no question the future of the automobile power plant is going to be electrification. And the key component of that is the battery. In fact, the battery replaces fuel. Right now, our issue is we're dependent on foreign sources of oil. What we're going to be dependent on is foreign sources of batteries, which is probably more problematic than oil because it's a finite supply. And that core technology will enable our industry in America to either globally be competitive or globally not be able to compete. And we should be investing in that battery technology here, and that's part of this bill, to create the incentives for retooling and building battery plants in America.
I was talking to a couple people from Argonne just yesterday, and they said that Korea has come through with billions of dollars for funding for their lithium-ion battery.
Yes, Samsung.
So how much is this loan guarantee for our batteries to be in the United States?
That would be available. It's up to, in our recommendations, up to $50 billion to be available for all the manufacturers, Toyota, Nissan, Honda, any manufacturers vehicles here to produce and have technology reside in the United States for these new power plants. Korea is a great example. The government and industry working together to make their economy stronger. That's not a bad thing. You know, right now in America, we could use a few more jobs, especially good-paying jobs. Why are we exporting our jobs to Korea? Here's a good example where the energy bill had this provision for an appropriation for just the funds just to do this, and I don't know if it's going to pass or not. There's a lot of people in our government that see it as a handout to industry, and they don't understand the ramification of global competitiveness. They don't understand. They've never worked. They don't know jobs. They don't know payroll. They don't know mortgages. I don't know. It's a very different situation. I talked with the candidates about this, and they both really understand it, and they freely say we'll never have a relationship between government and industry like they do in Asia. It's a crime.
Do either one of them want it more than the other?
No, they're both equally, I think, in a positive frame of mind to.
Do you think that most people don't understand that this battery is an alternative energy? Everyone says they want alternative energies, but they don't understand that this is the battery that will create the alternative energy other than the gasoline.
Yeah. That's the key component. And the gas tank stores gasoline as a form of energy stored to be used at a later date. And the battery stores electrons as an energy to be used at a later date. So we think of it as the fuel tank with the fuel in it. And you refuel a gas car at a gas station with oil. You refuel an electric car either through a generator, onboard motor, or by plugging the thing into the limiting technology right now in advanced powertrains, either hybrid vehicles, pure electric, or plug-in hybrids, it all boils down to battery technology. And that's a immature, developing, new frontier that a lot of money is being poured into because that's where the bets are going to be. It's kind of like, HD TV. In America, we didn't invest in it. We're out of the TV business. We're out of the appliance business now. We're going to be out of the automobile business if we don't recognize that at this time. We want that technology as soon as we can. We want to put it in the hands of everyday consumers. have the biggest impact on reducing our dependence on foreign oil, and it'll have the biggest impact on reducing the CO2 footprint. We don't need it to make the standards, but it sure will help. It'll help the country be competitive. It'll help us keep jobs here. It'll help us build our powertrains in America instead of bringing them in from Korea or other countries. So it's really it's an important, for me, in my mind, is for our country first, not for our company first. And the second piece of it is that it isn't an issue of the bailout of the companies. It's really an appropriate alignment of strategies between government and industry to.
And the only time that there was an automotive bailout was with Chrysler, and the government ended up making money. So even if there was this loan guarantee that you say people consider a bailout, you think that they would make money again off of this?
Yeah, there's interest through the loan guarantee. So it's only like $3.5 billion a year in terms of actual cash flow.
Jim Press, thank you very much.
Sure, it's my pleasure. Thank you for your interest.